Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the like, smash up the like, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'm going to let a few hundred of y'all come in, but then I'm going in. But in the meantime, in the between time, I'm going to get some shots out to the early birds, starting with Don, Don, Don. Alex, what's up? What's up, Doris? Doris, what is that? Doris Crumpton? What it do? Marquise, what's up? Miss Lily, Alicia. I see Cameron, Robert, Marjorie, 48th Street Rat, highly favored, Dorth. What's up, Dorth? Sweet beloved, DCC 1446. What's up? I see Kevin Washington. China Carter. What's up, China? What's up, China? Amazing Love. Chaos Cube. Ruben. What's up, Ruben? Okay, fam, going in. I'll come back to the comments. Going in for right now, though. Going in. All right, fam. You know what? I'll come back to that article. But I do want to say that the Guadalajara airport has shut down. El Mencho killed. Panic is spreading across Puerto Vallarta. Violence is in the air in Mexico. Violence is in the air in Mexico. Check it out.
Most powerful drug kingpin was killed during a military operation. Mexican officials say criminal groups burned cars and trucks to block roads across the country. The State Department is warning Americans to shelter in place. ABC's Melissa Dunn is near the border tonight.
Explosions erupting across Puerto Vallarta tonight. Black smoke seen rising over the resort city on Mexico's Pacific coast. Mexico's military forces launching a daring operation to capture cartel leader Ruben N., known as El Mencho. Multiple cars on fire in the streets. Mexican officials say during their operation, military personnel were attacked. Several cartel members were killed, including El Mencho, the head of the new generation Jalisco cartel, who died while airlifted to a hospital in Mexico City. Mexican authorities say the United States provided complimentary information for their operation. A U.S. defense official telling ABC News Northcom provided information for the raid. The violence forcing the Puerto Vallarta airport to suspend all flights. This stranding many U.S. citizens trying to get home.
Yeah, I mean, at first we were like, what's going on? And then, then you find out, hopefully they lift the ban and we're able to go out.
Border cities like Tijuana are now reporting criminal activity, and the State Department is telling U.S. citizens in impacted areas in Mexico to shelter in place. Lindsay?
Melissa, thank you.
Okay, so I don't know what happened with the video on that last part, but I guess they had some type of technical difficulties. But you did get the message. The message is Americans, stay sheltered. That means wherever you are, stay there. Stay there. If you're in a safe place, stay exactly where you are, because they are saying that the cartel is actually targeting Americans. They're saying the cartel is targeting Americans. So you may want to be careful out there. And here's the thing. I got a buddy who just left Cabo. Now I know y'all say Cabo is the place to be and the party and all that kind of stuff, and ain't nothing gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. But you still in them people's territory. And when it's going down, I just don't believe in taking these type of chances, especially when they're not necessary. Like, I'm an odds person. You know, I play the odds heavy. I'm heavy on odds. I'm a risk taker, but I'm like one of those type of dudes that what is the likelihood of it happening like this as opposed to happening like that? And right now, Trump is doing putting a lot of threats on Mexico. He's being disrespectful to the country. He's talking about attacking Mexico. He's spoken about attacking Mexico. Well, those cartels, they don't just make threats, they carry them through. And the cartels have already said they after Trump. You know, they've already said, hey, well, let me back up. They said they was after ICE. They put bags on the heads of ICE members. So they got a problem with America. Anybody that America got a problem with right now, if I were you, I'd keep a safe distance from that country, because all those people in those countries really got is guerrilla warfare. Most of those countries, they can't go head to head against the United States. But what they can do is pick off US citizens. They can pick off those tourists. You know, they can pick those tourists off one at a time. And so in my mind, I'm thinking like, yo, you know, it's like if you got a problem, let's say, you know, your buddy got a problem with these people that live in this neighborhood over here. They know that's your buddy. You decide, since they got a problem with your buddy, that you ain't got no problem with them. They ain't got no problem with you. So you're going to go over there and you're going to visit your girl over there that live in that neighborhood. Bad idea. Just a bad idea. I know you don't want no problems. You ain't looking for no problems. You didn't start it. You don't know nothing. You ain't got nothing to do with it. But they have identified you as a buddy. And if they can't get your friend, they might just decide to get you. I know it don't really make sense, because I know it really don't make sense, because you didn't have nothing to do with it. But some people think like that. When some people think about retribution, they think if they can't get you, they'll get your next of kin. They'll get your family members. They're going to strike something that you love. That's how they think. We'll get you one way or the other. So in my mind, I'm staying away. Look, I already got enough drama in the United States. It's already dangerous enough right here. It's super dangerous right here. But at least right here, I know the terrain. I know the terrain here. I know where to go, where not to go. I'm fortified. I'm ready to get down if it go down. You know, I know how to get to what I need to get to get somebody off me. You know, I got soldiers everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I got soldiers in damn near every major city in the US. So it's like, and it's still dangerous here. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not finna go nowhere where America is threatening people, and where there's unrest, I'm not going somewhere where this orange dude is telling people that he might wipe them off the map at any moment. He's gonna ride on me talking, man, I'm not doing that. And so I wanted to come here and plead to y'all. I'm talking about you faithfuls, because some of y'all are faithful to going to Mexico and partying and having fun. I'm talking about the faithfuls. Y'all better be careful out there, because Everybody ain't playing and everybody ain't welcoming. Everybody ain't cool with you just because you from America and you got some money to spend. Some of these people literally take your head off. Let's get into this article right here on Times Now World. The killing of Nemesio Oseguera, known as El Mencho, has been followed by unrest in parts of western Mexico, with reports of violence and travel disruption in Jalisco state and beyond. The Associated Press, citing an official report, reported that the Mexican military carried out an operation in Jalisco on Sunday in which Oseguera Cervantes, the leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, was killed. In the hours that followed, roadblocks involving burning vehicles were reported in Jalisco and neighboring states. Such tactics are commonly used by cartels to obstruct security force movements. Now, here's the thing. So the cartel operate a lot like, what's it called? What's the name of that terrorist organization in the Middle East? What's it called? I'll get back to it. But the cartel operate a lot like these extremist groups. Al Qaeda. That's what I'm trying to think. Say, yeah. Thank you, Lisa. Al Qaeda. They operate a lot like Al Qaeda. If Al Qaeda cannot hit the target that they want, they can't hit the direct target. They'll hit an indirect target. They will literally kill innocent people who have nothing to do with nothing. They will go and find a bus full of tourists and blow the whole bus up. These are people that are not even in their country. It might be a country, it might be a foreign country that's friends with, let's say, the United States, because the United States is usually the bullies that's messing with people all the time. They may find a country that's an ally to the United States and blow up an entire bus full of people that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. They're just there to have a good time. They're there to enjoy the countryside or whatever. And next thing you know, boom. That's the way they operate. That's the way they leverage their power, you know? That's the way they leverage their influence. They can't go head up against France. But what they can do is target a city in France, and arbitrarily take out innocent people. The cartel move the same way. And the cartel don't care who you are. The cartel knock off government officials. It don't matter if you're a mayor, a governor, the president, whatever. The cartel ain't playing no games. So they don't have a problem taking out Americans. I think it's a huge risk to go over there and think it's all sweet. I say, man, let it die down, man. Let everything cool off. Let's get this orange dude out of office. Let's return some civility. And then let's look around. And even then, I say let some other people go first. Let them people who like to explore go first. Let them jump out there first. Let them jump out there first. You're right, Spencer. This is not our war. But if you're an American, you ain't gonna be able to have that conversation. You ain't gonna be able to be out there and be like at the airport trying to get back to the US, and one of them pull up on you and they go like, You be like, look, no, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that, man. Let me see, passport. No. U.S. citizen. Oh yeah, you ain't gonna be able to do all that. Hey man, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that, man. No. The ones that singing at Donald Trump, I will vote for Donald Trump. All that there. Oh, they're gonna get their head knocked smooth off. They better not. The cartel better not come across one of them. Oh, this is Donald Trump. You're the Donald Trump. Boom. Boom. It's a wrap. You're not gonna be able to talk your way out of that. I got enough issues right here in the U.S., fam. I mean, this government that we're under right now, this government give me enough blues. I get enough blues from this country right here. If I'm going to go to another country, I'm going somewhere where I believe is almost zero chance of anarchy, zero chance of chaos. That's where I'm going. I'm not going somewhere where it can go down at any moment. I'm not jumping out of the pot into the fire. Can't do that. That ain't my style. The real Petty Penny, what up? John Lopez, what it do? Ray, I see you. I see you. Y'all show China Carter some love, fam. She working at moderation, keeping the trolls at bay. You know, I put Trump in the description, so in the title. So anytime Trump is in the title, you know, the uncivilized mutts, they come out. So I know you're out there. I know you're watching me. I'm watching you too. I know you're watching. You waiting to see what I'm gonna say about Trump, aren't you? You waiting to see what I'm gonna say about Trump. I'm gonna go and say something about Trump. I ain't have nothing really planned for him, but I'm just gonna say something right now because I know it's gonna get under your skin, make you have a bad night or morning or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I know it's gonna run your blood pressure up. So I'm gonna go and say something about Trump. Bad. Watch this. Donald Trump is a monkey. Yeah, he's a monkey, man. Think about it. He looks more like a monkey than Michelle and Barack could ever look like a monkey. Yeah, and they got them little thin lips. You know what I'm talking about? Monkeys got thin lips. They be sweating and stuff. Look at his skin. His skin look like it stink. You think I'm lying? Watch this. Hold on. Watch this. I'm finna find Donald Trump. Hold on. Watch this. Watch this, fam. Now look at this. I want y'all to look at this right here. I want you to look at this. Let me share. Do-do-do-dum. Share. And where is it? Where is that tab? There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Look at that. Tell me his skin don't look like it stink. That's y'all leader. That's your leader. You tell me, look at that skin, look at that, look at that. Tell me it don't look like it stink. Look like its skin look like it smell. Its skin look like it smell like bad breath. Look like it's bad breath. Smell like bad breath. Its skin smell like bad breath. That's what it looked like. So if his skin looked like that, imagine what his breath smelled like. And here's the thing too, fam. Let's not forget this guy is the president of the United States, and he's been linked to files with little girls, underage girls. He's appeared in the Epstein files more than Epstein has appeared in the damn files. And this is not a stretch. It's not a stretch what he's being accused of, because remember, now you got to keep this in mind. Remember, Trump said himself, I grab him by the PUSS. He said it. I grab him by it. And they don't even do that. Before they can even react, I just grab them by it. And they don't say nothing. But you know what though? Half these women out here, especially, I'm talking about mainly on the Republican side, half of y'all ain't got nothing to say. Because y'all knew he said that. Y'all heard him say that. And y'all voted for him anyway. So miss me with your fake outrage about the Epstein files. Miss me 1,000%. Because you don't care nothing about victims of sexual assault. Nothing. So miss me with it. Miss me with it if you're still defending them right now. Miss me with it. You don't care nothing about victims of sexual assault. You just like a lot of those people, those immigrants who voted for Trump. You don't care what happens to anybody else as long as it don't happen to you. Ain't that something, fam? That's the kind of country we live in. We don't care what happened to our neighbor. We don't care as long as it don't happen to us. Think about it. What kind of, fam, I'm glad that I came up in a time. I lived at a time where there was community. I lived that life when I was growing up. I lived in a community. And listen, we ain't had nothing, fam, but we had each other. Do you hear what I'm saying? This before the internet, this before record sales, this before the platinum records. This is before the touring, the money, the cars, the houses, everything, jewelry, all of that. We ain't had nothing, but we had each other. And we felt safe. Because we looked out for each other. Yeah, you know, we get into a fight every now and then, we fight, whatever, but we weren't trying to kill each other. And even if I had a fight with the dude a few houses down on my street, his mama could still come to my house. And I might come home and his mama be sitting in the living room talking to my mama. They'd be sitting there just talking and chopping it up. It wasn't a war. We still looked out for each other. I've been fortunate enough to live overseas. When I got to the bag, I lived in another country for 10 years. I saw what community looked like. I lived in a neighborhood where kids could walk the streets. Anybody, not just kids, but anybody could walk down the street at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and not be assaulted, not be harassed. I actually live. See, we can't even fathom something like that because we live in a country where violence is the rule. If I tell somebody something like that in the United States, man, you crazy, man, they crazy. Well, you know, it happened, you know, that's what they get. Over there, they're community focused. The country I'm speaking of is Azerbaijan. I lived in Baku, that's the city. I lived in Baku. Baku had the same amount of people, about the same amount of people Houston had, but not even a fraction of the crime that Houston had. At that time, I remember I was looking at some crime analysis, and I was, you know, because Houston had about 4 million people at the time, and Baku had about 4 million people. So I was looking at some crime analysis comparisons, and I saw that at one point there was about 15 people. I mean, not 15. I think it was like maybe 5 or 6 people a week getting killed in Houston, something like that. And in Baku, it was like 1 person a month got killed. And typically when somebody got killed in Baku, it was a car wreck or domestic violence. Husband and wife got into it, something like that. But something like that, it was an accident or domestic violence. But them people looked out for each other. They was community based. It was community focused. We live in this country, the country we live in right now, it's every man for himself, everybody out for self. We got a really like an individual type of mentality. Everybody out for self, everybody solo. It's even reflected in our music. Look at the music groups that come out today. When's the last time a group actually came out? The last time we had a successful rap group was the Migos. I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Migos been out, what, 15 years or something? That's been a long time. When we came up, groups, it was normal. It was more groups. It was more groups than solo artists. Now, every time a artist come out, they're solo. Solo artists, that's cool and everything, and some solo artists have been super, super great. But groups have always offered a certain, a different dynamic than solo artists. Like the solo artist is typically one-dimensional. You know, that's what the artists do. But you put a group together and every member has a different personality. Every member brings something to the table, something different. So it takes you on a journey like that. It's like a roller coaster ride, whereas when it's a solo artist, it's just a straight drive on the highway. It's just a straight drive, you know? So even in our music, everybody going for self. Even in the music, everybody going for self. So we got to get back. I don't know how it's going to happen. Maybe it'll happen one by one. I mean, what they say, be the change that you seek. Whatever change that you want to see, you start with yourself and be the change. And I think that'll be the way, because it ain't going to happen in a mass way, because this government and the media, the mainstream media is colluding to keep us divided. They're colluding to keep us divided along racial lines, ethnic lines, age lines, gender lines, religious lines, financial lines, every line you can think of. They're in cahoots to keep us divided. Condolences to the lives that were lost in Guadalajara. For those people out there that's trying to get back home, I hope y'all can make it safely back, without incident. Y'all be careful out there, fam. It's a wild, crazy, but beautiful world. No more talk.